into handy, because obviously now they don't have anything to spot there. But Evil Panda Squad not too worried at this point, because they are pushing forwards towards the mountain area. They know more D's there, and they will get spots out onto Spidey. Spidey will actually be able to get away from this one. Evil Panda Squad not going for that luck shot, as more D did.
Yeah, and Spidey is in a little bit of trouble. He knows that they
His
are...
Spidey senses are tingling.
Oh, God, stop him, please. But he has repositioned. As you said, he doesn't have to be too overly aggressive right now. He can't be, as he is literally just holding that down. And the rest of the side are going to have to retract back here. That 1390 and that T69 just making their way back all the way from, you know, pushed up towards the Abbey. They're going to have to sit back a touch, because they're quite saturated through the map right now.
Yeah, indeed. They've got to be careful they don't spill out too much. It's one of the weaknesses teams have on this map. Evil Panda Squad, player of Ace, shooting out towards the T1, not actually connecting his shell, so Spidey's still alive. Potomaco there, Xenef does take him down finally in that AMX 3090. So one T1 each for both teams, actually.
Yeah, and that was a nice bit of play coming out from your guys, obviously, there. They did manage to loop around him. His attention was truly focused towards the initial 1390. They hadn't moved too far. The other roped around the side. So, impressive stuff so far, but we do see the little bit of the kind of battle or exchange in mid as such. No connections yet, but they always seem to kind of just be dancing around each other here. No one really getting the edge just as of yet, and they are just trying to wait things out. But we do see the AMX 3090s that had pushed up very early on in this, making the way to the enemy's base right now. Yeah,
they're going for a capture. They've only got one in the base. So as you said, that'll be AMX 3090. No, they do. They have second one in the base, so that will half the amount of cap time. 30 seconds left actually on the clock. But now Evil Panda Squad know what their play is. Pointer killing, fantastic in that T1. But Evil Panda Squad not worried. They're not panicking. That's their experience coming to play as they go for the cap themselves.
Yeah, indeed. And now, as you said, QQ is all alone there. He's going to have to back off a touch and leave that one for another day. Obviously, the Evil Panda Squad are not going to be buying into that, as you said. Truly experienced, cool, calm, and collected, even when the pressure's being applied.
Yeah, indeed, and now we have an engagement. Potomaco against Arjo, but they got Xenef there, connecting some shells. 896 is his health, 636 will take him the next shell, and 140 is going to go down. One more shot will take it. Yeah, Xenef connecting it, but now Potomaco's in trouble from Seath.
Yeah, Seath has made his way through, trying to help out his teammate there earlier on. Great connection with that shell, knocking Potato Maco down to only 85, and will claim that kill there. So, not a bad exchange, but now he's in trouble, being absolutely hammered down right now.
Yeah, the T69's connecting their shells nicely down to 77 health. Definitely the advantage to Evil Panda Squad now. Losing, well, they lost an AMX 3090, but Potomaco didn't play it particularly well. He should have ran away straight away. He should have left Xenef to do the rest of the damage. He did not need to stay there at all. He could have just kept himself alive, and that would have been game over for that AMX 5100 either way. But, you know, he did collect a bit of damage onto the AMX 3090, which was always nice for Evil Panda Squad. But you prefer to have that tank alive at the end of the day.
Yeah, but we still see QQ and the Haxel just kind of dancing around near the enemy's flag, keeping their attention, but they are finally backing away down that 7-8 line that they made such an aggressive play down initially, but they're going to just sit back and play a little bit more cautiously. And why are they splitting up so much here? We've got 2 and 2 pretty much left. The T69 and the AMX 3090 playing quite passively now as well. Yeah,
they're not going to go for it. I mean, they're tempted by the cap, I think. We've seen more of the cap before on maps like this, and it hasn't gone too well for them. It's a gamble, definitely. I mean, it's so easy to stop a cap, but if it works, it truly does work, and it will completely win you the game. Abbey, famous for a tactic like that, being such a big and complicated map. So hard to navigate through for every tank. So many bumps and jumps that just can slow you down and track you and cause all sorts of problems. But Evil Panda Squad know the tactic. They've been playing this map probably since it was released on 7 vs 7, which was mid-part through 2012. But they are going to push on. New multi-shows there in the foreground. Ace going from the side. He's also got Pointer from there. Eclipse will probably want to absorb a shell or cause some sort of distraction. I'm not sure what they're going to do with him. Also, T69 has the 4-shell autoloader, capable of doing a nice 1,000 damage, a cool 1,000 damage, 250, 240 average per shot, 300 penetration. And now Evil Panda Squad's play is on the cards.
Yeah, and Mordy playing very passively now, literally stacking all the way back here. Why are they being so defensive? Are they just going to try and hold this off as best they can?
Yeah, I think that's what they're trying to do. I mean, they don't have the advantage. They know it. They are playing completely out the trench, which is always very hard. The problem is that they've basically given the whole of the other side of the map to Evil Panda Squad, which gives them the upper ground, which gives them every kind of advantage they can really think of. And WoT just don't know what to do. They don't know what Evil Panda Squad are. They haven't spotted anything. They haven't got the AMX 3090s in position. And, you know, they're just completely lacking information right now. And Evil Panda Squad has all the information they need. They know they're in the trench, and they can pretty much do exactly whatever they want.
Yeah, obviously, they're trying to make a way out of it. They've looped all the way around the flag, their own flag, to try and even just catch a glimpse of the opposition, who they've literally not seen anything of for quite some time now. So it's absolutely mad to see these two teams literally avoiding each other, making their way completely around the opposite sides of the map at the moment.
Wow, that's interesting. WoT, actually not a bad play from them. I mean, just running away if the going gets hard. Hey, it is a draw right now. There's only one more point advantage to Evil Panda Squad right now, so no win on the cards for either team, with only 2 minutes left on the clock. And to be honest, I'm quite estranged, because I would have thought Evil Panda Squad would have just pushed that AMX 3090 and finished the game. It's very unusual that a team gets such a high advantage of taking an AMX 5100 out like they did, and then just not making the plays as quickly as they could have. They should have pushed through the middle. They should have come from both sides and not given WoT the opportunity to move out. They had that opportunity because they have the faster tanks.
Yeah, and I do believe, excuse me, the actual push coming out from your side, the Evil Panda Squad has been kind of spoiled by Shisa, who's going to have to get out of the situation. There's no way he can challenge on this right now, but at least he knows where they're coming from. They do know what they're up against, and I'm quite curious to see what more WoT will now do that they found the opposition.
Yeah, well, it looks like he's running with his tails in his legs, but he's been spotted. Seeker's been spotted. Ace goes for the quick shot, not managing to land it. The server side reticle lagging behind the client one there, and also maybe it just been inaccurate as well, but yeah, could have been both those factors coming into it. And now Evil Panda Squad actually pushing into the cap. Yeah, Ace staying in the cap. I mean, he should have gone a little bit to the left because the rocks are there. I'm not sure why he is where he is, but it's still going to be 46 seconds, which is not enough time for Evil Panda Squad. So they will have to actually push unless they put Xenef in there, which they are doing.
Yeah, and Shishi's now trying to join up there as well, trying to maybe watch the push-up and maybe know what your side need to do to kind of make this one work. But nevertheless, they're trying what they can.
Yeah, Xenef has got to be careful. He's being blocked by Ace and Pointer right now, so it will be more at the ease. Complete opportunity in Show, taking down Seek, and yeah, that's game over with 11 seconds left.
Yeah, even GGs are being said from the guys as well. The flags, well, the flag, should I say, will be captured. And it was a good start from them both, really. But I think, obviously, you know, the Evil Panda Squad just kind of edged ahead there.
Yeah, they definitely, edged is probably exactly the right word. I mean, there was no real big engagement. Yeah, there was an AMX 5200 taken out, but you know, we usually see just a massive flurry of tanks hitting each other at some point, and we didn't see that at all. I'm not sure why WoT put their 77 health AMX 3090 on the front line when they had two pretty much full health ones. Yeah. It was a kind of a strange play from them. Perhaps a little bit of inexperience we've been talking about coming out there. Maybe just didn't get away quick enough. I don't know. Again, maybe they didn't think New Multi-Show would push up, but, you know, of course they would. It's New Multi-Show. But yeah, it's going to be our next map, Prokhorovka. No artillery. Prokhorovka is always an interesting one to watch. I think we won't see any artillery. Teams have been QQing all week long, all 2 weeks long, that they can't play their precious artillery anymore. But unfortunately, that is the case with 8.6. Is the way it goes. Yep. Any questions from social media? I'm just having a little check right now. I'm certainly not as gifted as Melly at this, so you're just going to have to bear with me a bit. It's baffling. You know, people say it's an easy job. It's not. It's very confusing. All right, I will have a little look and see if we can find any questions being asked so far. At the moment, I don't see any. So, guys, if you do want to ask questions, make sure you hashtag WoT Pro League. So I'll be able to see it. We can put the questions to this man. We can get your predictions out there. Let us know your thoughts as well, because obviously we've let you know ours. So we want to hear back from you guys. Yeah. Obviously, we can't see Twitch chat at the moment, but we can see Twitter. So work it out. Indeed, indeed. Work it out. Prokhorovka, as I said, will be our next map. Tank picking, I think, has started. Both teams raring to go. T1, T69, the first pick by WoT.
Yeah.
As I just say, I tell them to go ahead and pick Evil Panda Squad.
They're being nice guys.
They are. It's quite
they
cute,
just ignore
isn't it?
us.
Yeah.
Now they're being lovely, which is always good.
It's nice, very nice. It makes a change. Thank you, guys. T1, T69 being picked, so mirror pick from Evil Panda Squad, as you can see on your screens now. AMX 1390 times 2. More WoT looking to Hunt's underdogs for inspiration, but Evil Panda Squad replying with exactly the same thing.
Wow.
I think Evil Panda Squad are just, they just want to see what they take, and they're going to pick exactly the same. It works as a tactic actually, because then at least you're not getting anything better or worse than the other team.
Yeah, you're on that complete even playing ground, so it's going to be, it's just down to pure skill, I guess, or maybe the special tactics they might have be holding back. But I don't think we'll be seeing too much of that coming out in this one. But I'm kind of curious here. Who do you think is going to be obviously feeling the benefits of what Prokhorivka can give? You said certain maps will suit certain teams in this. Who's going to be the one benefiting on this map?
Well, so far, the only time my prediction has been right is today, so about Evil Panda Squad winning Abbey, because they are the more experienced team on those kind of maps. And I think, once again, that will come out for them on Prokhorivka. It was one of their favourite maps in Season 1. They've done very well at offline tournaments, going back to IM Katowice, where they won the finals on Prokhorivka.
Wow.
Very impressive play from them against Dragonborns, as it's only picking an MX 1390 and a T1, so splitting off a bit from WoT. Not that T69, they're looking for the faster lineup. Exactly the opposite of what they did on Abbey. I mean, we saw WoT take the 1390 as opposed to T69. Now Evil Panda Squad are doing what they were doing. T69 being picked by Evil Panda Squad, WoT going for an AMX 1390 as their last picks.
It's not vastly different between these two teams, really. As you said, there's slight variations that should possibly play into how they want to play this map, do you think?
Yeah, the T69 is definitely slower, so that always comes into the equation for sure. So the team that picks that, but it's usually mostly because of the way the different sides work from this map. But yeah, it's exactly a mirror match actually. 3 MX 1390s on both sides, 2 T69s on both sides. So exactly the same, which is a little unusual just because of what I just said. If you're playing from the north, maybe you want something a little bit more static because it's more campy. If you're playing from the south, you want something a little faster because you want to, push up a little further. But this map is so similar from both teams. But yeah, T69's AMX 1390s the pick of choice for this season. As yeah, it's going to be an interesting map. I think Evil Panda Squad have gone for the South Spawn. Yes, they have, I believe. As more DE certify, they let us know that we're ready. Just waiting for Evil Panda Squad's response.
Yeah, they're looking like they're ready, though. At least these guys are getting on with it quickly. They're not a team that wants to be messing around, and obviously they do have a lot of games to play. We aren't just doing one game tonight. There'll be a game following, and I think that almost like... Oh, they're just saying, okay. It's not like, yeah, we're ready. See, look, manners. I like these two, and obviously it will be the Evil Panda Squad up against the one and only Team More WoT.de, and we will be on Prokhorivka, and as you said, it's going to be a mirror match here. It's going to be down to pure skill. It's going to be an interesting one, to say the very least.
So here we go again. Evil Panda Squad versus more WoT.de. We just saw more WoT.de get not crushed, but they got slided out of the first game, pushed out by the Evil Panda Squad on Abbey. Quite a nice game for Evil Panda Squad, playing with experience, not panicking at all when more WoT.de went for the cap. As now we see Ace in his AMX 1390. It's always strange when I see Ace play an AMX 1390 because I always synonymously integrate him with a heavy tank like a T32 or something like that. He's pushing forwards quite far, trying to get spots out early, not achieving that at all. None of the other team has been spotted. They are looking to get the middle ground. Potomaco's up there in the far corner. Zenith there as well. Evil Panda squad have taken quite a sizable chunk of the map.
Yeah, and well, the more WoT.de side are completely focusing towards that 6 and 7 line, just going up the right side of those tracks, trying to get their positions up there, leaving the mid completely uncontested, having one man back at the flag, and Hacksaw is literally flying away, trying to get as far as he can up this map, and just doing some bit of scouting, really.
Yeah, well, none of the other team has been spotted. Quite unusual for Prokhorov,
Yeah.
because you usually see, you know, maybe like a T1 or an MX-3090 being spotted out from the beginning, even a T69, just because how slow it is off the mark. So quite unusual, actually. But, you know, both teams will have an idea of where the other one is. New multi-show actually just, well, that was really strange. I mean, that was a...
What just happened?
I know, you know.
So I heard that, I was like, wait,
words.
no one's spotted. What just happened?
Well, New multi-show, the pro skiller that he is, just shot Ace straight in the side of his tank. Yeah, wow. A little bit of miscommunication from their team. Ace was just driving around arbitrarily. New multi-show was just sniping out, I don't know, trying to do some blind shots. Ace drove in front of him, and he got hit for 240 damage. So 260 damage even. So GG New multi-show, GG Ace. Yeah, I'm going to bully them for the rest of their lives for that, because that was brilliant.
We all have those special moments, and I think they had a really special moment. Now, I'm just so curious as to why, you know, the more WoT side are so focused towards the 7 to 0 line. They're completely ignoring the left side of the map if you're from the south side here. And maybe they've seen these guys play this before and they're like, okay, we know what they do. Now they've got their first spot, but it's in the completely different direction to where they expected.
Yeah, well, it's a pretty common tactic from the south spawn to go to the village. At some point, not too long ago, I think probably about a couple of months ago, we saw teams start to push towards the forest side, the forest road side from that southern spawn, but it doesn't seem to have caught on. It's not a trend that we see happening anymore. Teams going towards what they know, what they used to do, which is the village side push. But Evil Panda squad quite happy to snipe out, because they've got a sneaky suspicion that there's a T1 somewhere in one of those bushes.
Yeah, and they're right to be feeling that way. They have got a couple of spots now for the more WoT side, finding out where two of the opposition were. One of the T1s and the 3090s were spotted on that 2 and 4 line. So you do see the tension of Skyrim there now completely focused, as is his buddy beside him. So both guys are already kind of working this out, and the T1 being spotted again, forcing them into action. Didn't see that shell connect, though.
Shell did not connect. I think Sony will be looking for the T1 Cunningham right now. He's actually in this bush here, I believe. So he's going to have to play it well, because if he does go out too far, MX-3090 of more WoT will connect the shell on him, no doubt at all. But Sony's, if he does it right, then he's going to be able to get into a position where he's not far enough to get spotted by one of the tanks in the middle or from the railroad here, but just far enough so he's spotted from there. And then once that's happened, he will know, okay, I cannot have been spotted from here, I have to have been spotted from here. And then we'll see the T69s trying to do some blind shots into those bushes.
Yeah, we see that T1 once again just popping up and down on the radar for these guys over here. And it is coming up from Ario. You said he was going to be sitting in one of these bushes, and you're pretty much right to be feeling that way. He has been keeping his eyes on it. But the rest of the team are slowly showing their presence, but they are fairly far forward. So Ario is pushing out, and he has been spotted. And was that from New Multi-Show? I think it was.
Yeah, New Multi-Show connected the shell, but Xenef spotted him there. More D did get a shell onto Xenef there. I believe that was Seek, the team captain, doing the damage. Nice little bit of damage onto the MX-3090. Those are the kind of shells that count at the end of the battle when you're fighting for survival in a massive brawl, as Potatomaka going offensive here.
Yeah, and this could spell trouble for the more DE side, and Sonny and Potato Maker are kind of spotted, forcing a little bit of a change going out from that middle section where the two T69s were positioned. So we're going to have to see how QQ does actually deal with this one, as they literally are centimeters apart over that railroad there.
Yeah, QQ being spotted. Potomako trying to reverse back, but no, he can't do that. He has to have a bit of speed, a bit of momentum to get over the hill. Planet side being finally spotted in that T69. So now Evil Panda squad know where both the MX-3090s and whereabouts the one T69 is. probably able to guess where the second one is. So Evil Panda Squad have the map control. They have the advantage in terms of information, which is everything that counts. It's so important to know where the other team is. It's so important because then you can act on it. You know, you can guess where the other one. You can guess what the other one's going to do. You can try and make an informed decision on what you want to do. It's so important.
Yeah, and Siege about the only one who wanted to stay near that rail line right now. No one else is at all. The T69's backed off, as is just about everyone else. The two T1s have caught a glimpse of each other. They're up by the opposition's flag right now, but that is about it. The more the DE side are being very passive now. Yeah,
we're seeing a push actually from Evil Panda Squad into the village, and I think we'll see our first engagement. Our first proper engagement of the game. Planet's Eye being spotted. Potomako getting tracked, but he gets tracked behind the building, so nice little move there. But Scarin's going to get a shot because he has managed to destroy the building. Potomako's got to be careful because one shot will do it, but Scarin's got to reverse it. He gets broken now, but there goes down Potomako. 1337 Haxa in that MX-1390 doing the damage.
Yeah, and there goes the one man who was trying to hold on to it. It was Scarin there, as you said. Doing a bit of a lot of work, to say the very least. Now Siege is pretty much very alone now in the village. The 3090 is behind him, but little to no chance of getting much connection. The ally base is being captured as we speak. So the WoT side have to do something. The shells are connecting on these, only on 83 HP. Pushing forward, they've got a great shot onto a pointer there, but that's about it. A bad exchange for them, leaving, well, not much options now.
Yeah, I don't think a new multi-show has to worry. I don't think Evil Panda Squad has to worry because they know once new multi-show is reloaded, he will be able to down QQ. One more shot will take him down. Ace has got to be careful. He's down to 128 damage. New multi-show trying to get the shells out. QQ knows exactly what he wants to do. And now new multi-show, he will actually connect the shell. Brilliant play by new multi-show in that T69. Exactly why he's one of the best players, if not the best player in this league.
Yeah, really showing the class right now. They've just absolutely demolished WoT, who it looked like could have stood a chance in that situation, but just sheerly, one-on-one, as a team, completely outgamed them. So now Fantastic and a good couple of others are left standing, but with little to no hope of being able to do any sort of work here. The likes of new multi-show being on form, as we know they are, they're in severe trouble. New
multi-show getting connected, 237 onto that hull. Another one actually, he does no damage to Fantastic. Fantastic connecting, but no damage onto him. Connecting in 250 times 2, but that'll be it. You'll have no more shells left. Tries to force some play from Fantastic in that T69. But he's just going to go for the decap. He hasn't managed to connect onto Sony, but no, he does connect onto Sony. Good play by more WoT. They're back in the game.
Yeah, holding on by a thread right now, and that is literally the best way we can describe it, because these guys have literally just somehow pulled this one back after some fantastic play. So the fire is being exchanged. Z-Spade has pushed his way up, and it's Hacksaw just still laying down those shells. And we do see Fantastic going down to new multi-show, so that earlier exchange really falling in his favour. And Elite Hacksaw is pretty far back now. Spade, that T1 is by the flag, so trying to get in there as much as he can. But do you think he's got a hope in hell right now?
I have no idea, because it's the two beasts from the east, new multi-show, Xenef. They've played with each other for so long, they're going to be able to coordinate so well. T69 AMX 1392 dual combo. They'll have no problems at all decapping, but the question is, Hacksaw will be able to connect the shells. He has 6 shell autoloader, and that will be plenty, 1,440 altogether to kill new multi-show and Xenef.
Well, he's in 1v2. Let's see if he can do it. Obviously, his teammate did get taken out there now, so he's got to do the work. 2 more to find. He did know who one of them was, but obviously you can see him as much as they can disappear rather swiftly here. As you said, 860 HP left on Lee Hacksaw. Can he find the shots here? Looking around, he's trying to scope it out, trying to find any of these players. He knows where they were, but I doubt they'll be sitting there waiting for him now.
Yeah, they're trying to get themselves into a position now, Evil Panda Squad, where they can defend, where they can sit behind the bushes, where they can use the camo value. They obviously have full camo crew, plus the 20, well, probably about 40% camo those huge bushes will give them. Hacksaw being spotted now, and new multi-show trying to connect the damage, but he's got to be careful. No problems at all, actually, for him. One more shot will do it, and 1-3-6. Oh! The game's ended. He can't get the final kill, but it's still a win for Evil Panda Squad.
Wow.
Wow.
What a way to play that one through. That was a fantastic game. What a completely different game we saw then to the first map.
Yeah.
Where both teams were very passive, very cautious, you know, avoided each other a fair amount of time. On that, there was that kind of tentative start, But once that got going, New
It was
Multi-Show is now
unbelievable.
my new favorite player in the world.
Exactly, he's incredible. If our producer can quickly go back onto my screen, we can show you exactly how much damage he did. Pretty incredible, actually. 3.2k. I mean, it's almost unheard of, to be honest. We never really see over 2.5s. 2.5s already is an incredible amount of damage. But look at that, 37 shots fired, 21 hits. I mean, it's unbelievable. Great play from him. And you know, that's the kind of standout performances, and it kind of proves to everyone that, you know, World of Tanks is about team play, and a lot of people say, oh, it's not skillful, whatever.
I think we've just been shown
exactly.
that.
One player just completely obliterating the whole team. Amazing.
Yeah, that was fantastic. And it wasn't an easy task, don't get me wrong.
For sure.
They didn't just allow it to happen. He forced his way into absolutely everything then, and that was brilliant. I haven't seen play like that. I've seen brilliant team play coming out. I've seen, you know, fantastic moments as a collective, but see individual moments like that, wow. Absolutely incredible. You know, that's something to look back on and go, well, you know, he's really just shown us some real brilliant
Incredible.
moments.
It's going to be one of the highlights of Season 2 for sure.
Certainly.
But it kind of proves, you know, get yourselves onto those one-on-one tournaments, get yourselves up to scratch, because that's where it counts, when it matters in the pressure. But, you know, it's amazing. I'm actually getting stuff right. We're 2-0 up for Evil Panda Squad.
I'm worried.
Yeah, it's just strange. It's a weird feeling. It's really weird,
Being
actually.
right is a weird feeling.
You'd
Ollie.
You'd expect to be right more of the time, but I'm just not.
You're basically an encyclopedia. I expect you to write all of the time, you know, every time. And it's
You've been right all the time. I don't get it.
I didn't call this one, though. I didn't kind of make my opinion known.
I should have put that on you.
No.
Not going to fall for that trap, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just going to let them know that we are ready. Caps.
Caps lock.
Yeah, I'm shouting at them, you know, I sounded so angry then. But guys, as I said before, if you want to let us know your thoughts the way this game is going to end, obviously we do have this map left in this quite possibly, or it could go even further. We need to find out. Obviously nothing is set in stone yet, but do hashtag WoT Pro League. I will check after the game if you got your predictions right. I don't know, I'll work something out. We'll try and get you something as a little prize, but no promises yet. I won't lie to you.
We got some keys we can give out. It's no problem.
I was going to give them like old mouse mats and, you know, things we were going to throw away, but now
Give
you give
me
them good
mouse mats.
stuff. No, you're not allowed anything. We leave you in a cupboard locked in there. He's not allowed out normally.
It's true.
When it's World of Tanks night, we let him out.
Just leave me in a cover with an encyclopedia of tanks just to go through.
That is it.
Yeah, it's
but
pretty much for me.
We're going into the tank picking, so finally we're going to have to let him out of that little cupboard with his encyclopedia, and do take us through this one.
Well, we've got AMX 5100s from both teams. It is Himmelsdorf. I'm expecting to see more WoT DE win this one, but we'll talk about that a little later. T1's being picked from both teams to pair up with those 5100s, and the question is really which team will pick the more IS3s, which team will pick the more AMX 5100 heavy lineup. I think more WoT DE has actually been one of the teams to pick the T32, and it's been successful. I mean, I think teams have been so, I don't know, put off by the T32, even though it's such a strong tank because it's hull down. Really a good, strong hull down tank because it's got 298mm of frontal mantle armor. But I don't know, it's just one of those things which just seems to have gone out of it's like a fad. It seems to have just gone out of favor with the teams. But more WoT DE bring it back with a conviction because it's working. Yeah,
and that's the one thing I've actually enjoyed watching back on the VODs. I was looking through the the WoT Pro League, you know, this league that we're casting right here, and I was watching the original VODs, you know, from Season 1. I was, you know, giving them a watch, and it's quite fun to see the tanks already changing even from back then, you know, and this game just keeps renewing itself.
Yeah, indeed, and 8.7 will do that once again. Obviously, being announced that the T50-2 will no longer be with us, which is quite sad, actually, because it's been one of those, well, probably the most defining tank, apart from your T69s, your AMX 1390s, for esports in this game. So fast, so maneuverable. It was even faster and more maneuverable pre-physics. So sad to see it go. Obviously, now it'll be replaced with a Tier 6 tank, which will kind of make it useless for esports. We'll have to see what happens with the Tier 5 replacement. But it's interesting to see what happened there. Obviously, if the T50-2 goes out, then I think we'll probably see the VK come back in, or just the T71 come back. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. It's going to be really interesting, though. IS3's AMX 5100 being picked from both teams, actually, Evil Panda Squad and more WoT DE. Also, the T69 finally being picked by more WoT DE. Evil Panda Squad going for another 5100, actually.
So would you say this is a typical choice for these guys, or have they kind of got anything out of the blue here?
Well, Evil Panda Squad, not known for their triple. Well, probably a little bit more in Season 2, actually. But triple AMX5100 is more of your De Nova lineup. It was actually one of the first teams to pick it. It was a separate lineup, and it worked really well for them. High firepower, a lot of penetration, very quick, very maneuverable. Really good if you can use it properly, but
right.
it's hard when you have the two i3s and the extra T69 against you.
Multi is your spy. He helped you in last game. Yeah, to be fair, that little bit of team damage that we saw going down earlier on was quite amusing as well. But Himmelsdorf, you've said it before, you know, certain maps will obviously help one of these teams more than the other. Which team do you think is going to be a little bit better off on this one?
Well, I think WoT has been so strong on Himmelsdorf, but they're not going for their T32 lineup like they usually do. But I've always said these newer teams, very, very good, very talented, very practiced with heavy tanks. But as we just saw in the last 2 rounds, a little bit less coordinated with your light tanks. But, you know, I think it's a 50-50 Evil Panda Squad, more practiced on city maps. Hello and welcome back. Evil Panda Squad versus WoT here. WoT struggling at the moment. 2-0 behind Evil Panda Squad as we go onto our third map, Himmelsdorf. It could be a 3-0 victory for Evil Panda Squad here.
Yeah, and this is the moment for WoT to turn the tides, and they need to do it pretty darn quickly. These guys, as you said, they're good at this map. This is a strong map for them. They need to do it right now, right here. This is their moment to kind of try and turn this game around, because so far they've been completely outclassed by the Evil Panda Squad.
Yeah, well, I think it's a testament to the changing face of Evil Panda Squad. They struggled so much in Season 1. That's was quite surprising because they are such an experienced team. You would have expected them to do very well, being one of the most experienced teams in the league, if not the most experienced team in the league. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one for sure.
And Zish is going really aggressive up Banana, actually, pushing all the way up to the opposing side, where normally you'd be able to catch a glimpse of those IS-3s that normally have that kind of mirrored battle out, but not spotting anything yet. He's probably kind of wondering where these guys are. He has got a glimpse. Oh, he's got a great connection there. And now he's going to get the hell out of there. So nice little early bit of damage just being inflicted onto EJS there, down there. After an aggressive push, and why has he gone so aggressive? Isn't that a little bit dangerous?
Yeah, I think it's a dangerous move from him, because if he was caught out there, it would have been game over for WoT. But, you know, he wasn't spotted. He could push forwards. He knew he could get the shell on to Evil Panda Squad before they could react. And it worked really well for them, because Ace actually used his premium repair kit to repair a damaged fuel tank and damaged tracked, even though it wasn't tracked. And, you know, a fuel tank, who cares? You know, if you get set on fire, you've probably got premium fire extinguisher. So advantage to WoT right now.
Yeah, as you said, this is their map. This is definitely their map to lose now. They've got an early advantage, but you can see the push now forming itself. The IS-3s have been spotted there from the WoT side, but the question is how they're going to deal with it. We're just going to have to find out right now.
Evil Panda Squad pushing quite offensively up the 2-3 line, as you see them do before. Tomash taking a couple of very big hits, 205, 50 damage each or something, taking him down to 904 altogether. That was the 5100, not doing such a good damage roll there. T69 as well, backing him up in the 8 line, but now Evil Panda Squad are playing very offensively.
Yeah, and there's had to be an adaptation from WoT. We saw that obviously Skyrim and QQ there peered out, did challenge, got a good couple of connections, but they've had to now retract, find a different angle to watch, and try and retake this as the best they can, because, well, they have the advantage. They've got to start using it. The IS-3s are maintaining the same position. T69 staying exactly where it was around Banana, and just hoping the AMX-50s can actually hold the line now.
Yeah, new multi-show pushing backwards with Proto Mako. Evil Panda Squad doing some sort of bluff, knowing that WoT would get in a defensive position. They've pushed back, hoping that their defensive position is weaker against their upcoming offensive move. I think they're not going to push everything back. The IS3s are on their tail right now, but it'll be interesting to see if they decide to stop on this 3-line or if they want to push the 8 road.
Yeah, we're going to have to find out. You can see the IS3s in that midsection, that Elite Hacksaw, obviously IO as well. Looking a little bit restless now, the T69 retracting back, trying to be a little bit more passive, a little bit less aggressive there. We saw the early push-up, not quite paying off, but allowing the T1s to make their way down all the way down that 0 line at the moment.
Yeah, Evil Panda squad completely clustering themselves up in the 1, well, 2, 3 line, right in the K area, not wanting to be too drawn apart. That's the worst thing you can do on Himmelsdorf is spread your tanks out so they can get focused down. That's how the teams always lose. You always have one tank, too far up one road, and it kind of gets caught out a bit, gets focused down, and suddenly, your whole team's out. It's impossible to come back from almost on a map like Himmelsdorf. Now we do see a spot coming out from Scarin, Scarin and also QQ being spotted. Both the AMX5100s trying to get connected by an IS3 right now. No damage so far.
Yeah, and now here comes the counter push down that 2 and 3 line. Pretty much all the firepower has got eyes onto New Multishow and Zenith. As you said, IO does manage to avoid that shell coming in. I didn't see a connection there, but Siege has joined in. It's now pushing further forward. These guys are literally going hell for leather right now. Yeah,
this is a great push by WoT. Really inspired, pushing their T1s from behind, their heavy tanks from the front. It's a properly well thought out tactic. You can tell they've been practicing like hell, but this will be Evil Panda squad's experience coming into play as Karin charges into Ace and New Multishow.
And they're losing players left, right, and center. That is not how they wanted this to go down. The push that was so aggressive, so well thought out, is being completely, utterly dismantled right now by Thomas, and this is just a bit of a mess for them at the moment. Yeah, but they've got to be careful right now. Evil Panda squad, that is. The New Multishow has probably used all his clip. He's running away, and the IS3s don't have a clip. They have one more IS3, so they don't have to worry about that too much. New Multishow getting away by the little bit. He's like skin of his teeth pretty much. Ace on his own. New Multishow getting the hell out of there. Common tactic from New Multishow to run away from his teammate when they're in trouble. Wow, the banter going out from you. We do see more D holding on to this one. There was a little bit of that shaky middle ground, but they have seemed to kind of get themselves into this. Some great play, as you said, from those IS3s coming around, applying the pressure when they knew that the opposing side had pretty much shot their load a little bit too early. Indeed, indeed. That is a big problem. Potomako pushing across into the street. He pushes back. He's got to be careful because the IS3 can one-shot, and it will do. Arsho connecting the shell. 390 being the average for that beast of a BL9. GG to WoT, and my prediction's right. I am worried what is going on. I really am. So yeah, GG's all around for that third map. Obviously, it does mean that, well, the Evil Panda squad are going to have to fight another day here, but it does mean that obviously WoT do survive another day, and they can hopefully kind of bring the game now a little bit further forward. But interesting bit of play coming down there. A lot of different kind of tactics thrown out, a lot of different back and forths. What really defined that for you then? I think it's just a brilliant inspired push by WoT. They really thought about it. Yep. T1s went behind, capping, put a bit of pressure on Evil Panda squad. In the end, that didn't really make so much of a difference. It caused Evil Panda squad a bit of a problem, but more of a disruption problem than any kind of like real quantitative problem, I would say. But WoT charging straight up, pushing from each side, Scarin pushing across, which is a gutsy move from him for sure. He could have got seriously damaged there. But it worked out really well. Scarin getting in there, Ace getting left on his own by New Multishow in the MX5100. Ace getting completely obliterated. And I think, once Ace had gone, it was game over. Yeah, and I can't wait to see these guys face off again. If it goes down to a situation like that, I'm seriously excited. These two are such a fantastic set of teams, especially when it kind of goes down in such brilliant fashion. We saw a brilliant individual moment coming out earlier on, obviously from New Multishow. How could I almost forget that, dear Lord? Obviously, that was brilliant. And then we see a fantastic bit of team play, a complete kind of polar opposites of moments. But it's great seeing what Water Tanks can really bring out of a team. And you get to see kind of this whole idea of it right now. So these guys obviously will be going into a fourth map now. So who do you think this one's going to suit? I think this is going to be Evil Panda Squad's one, definitely. Yep. I mean, they have struggled on mines before.
I remember we used to play them quite a lot, and they used to be really bad on mines. Like, we'd beat them 7-0 like all the time. But they've, you know, once you've been beaten like that, you improve. I mean, undoubtedly, more what DE's weakest map was Himmelsdorf, so they kind of sat down and thought, okay, what can we do to improve our game on that map? And that's why they're so good at it now. And that's what teams need to do, slowly but surely go through every map and improve themselves. And that's, you know, why we see our Dignitas as our Virtus Pros, because they're so experienced all round, and that's what really matters.
Yeah, so these guys probably going to have to little bit of a rethink now going forward. Obviously, you know that one team does struggle on this map, and maybe they're going to think, okay, guys, we know what's going on. We know what we're in for now. Let's have a little talk, make sure we're ready, make sure we know exactly what we're doing, and that's what they're going to be doing now. And the tank picks, I think they're just getting themselves ready to start picking. But what do you think we're going to see? Another mirrored kind of pick coming out here, or do you think maybe anything special? Well,
I think we'll be lucky if we see a T71. I mean, it's just going to be which team picks the 3090 more, which team picks the T69 more. And that's really down to players, you know. It's not, neither one is particularly better than the other one. They have their pros, they have their cons, and it's just down to which player enjoys it the most. T69's always a good pick, I think, on mines. I always prefer it, so that's my favorite tank, for this map at least. T1's being picked out by both teams, AMX 3090s also. So mirror so far, as you said. But now we'll be into the juicy bits, and the T69 will be the point of discussion. And the T71 as well, if the team pick the T71, they'll have to make it work, because so far we haven't seen it work. No team I can really say, okay, they've got a great T71 player. Which is quite surprising, because it's such an easy tank to play when you've got it all kitted out with all the crew skills and all the gold ammo and stuff. But it just hasn't materialized so far.
Yeah, and what do you think it's going to take for someone to actually do it? Do you think it's going to be one gutsy team or one gutsy player to run with it, and then everyone go, actually, that's looking pretty good? Do you think it can literally come down to someone just leading the way in these trends?
I think it's just about, you know, a player needs to come out, he needs to play a lot of games on it, he needs to get used to it. But more importantly, he needs to, you know, he needs to make sure the team finds its place for it. Because, you know, I think at the moment, teams are kind of picking it because it's a good tank, as opposed to, okay, it's going to work in this way. And that's what the teams really need to start doing with that tank. They need to start picking it because they have an idea for it, as opposed to just, it's fast, it's maneuverable, it does a lot of damage, which obviously it does, but if it doesn't have a place, what's the point of it?
Exactly, and this is such a team play-based game, you know, within its purest form, that without that kind of element of it fitting in, it's pointless, as you say. So hopefully these guys do keep it to what we know right now. Is it looking pretty normal at the moment?
Yeah, it was until literally the second you said that, which is quite strange, because that's the second week in a row which everyone's just happened. Yeah, T32, which is really weird because, well, it's really weird full stop, because we haven't seen that since probably end of 2011 going into the beginning of 2012. But more interestingly, we were saying, more what D is the team which will pick a T32 on Himmelsdorf, and now they've picked it on Mines, and it's like, what the hell, why have they done that? But
yeah, what sort of place do you think that's going to have on this map for them?
Well, if it's going to have any place, it's going to be on the hill. As I've been saying before, 298mm of turret armor. You know, it does bounce a lot of shells, even against the premium. I mean, 244mm of penetration for the 1390, 300 for the T69. But against the huge tracks of the T32, which we were talking about a bit last week, that since 8.6 heat ammo doesn't penetrate tracks anymore, it absorbs it. It might actually be a really good inspired pick from them. We'll see how it works out, but it's going to be a hard one for them for sure.
Yeah, so definitely eyes on Elite Hacksaw, and I think we're almost all picked up here. Almost.
Yeah, Evil Panda squad finally picking their last tank, going for the 1390. I think they might have been wanting to take a T69, but they know the heat changes, and they know that won't be so effective against the T32. So going for the 1390 is a good choice for them. But, you know, pretty interesting lineups from both teams. Evil Panda squad going for something more quintessential, but more DE picking the T32, completely throwing their ball into the park, and we'll see if it works out for them.
Yeah, gutsy move coming out from these guys, so they're just making sure they're ready. The let's goes have been said, and we're going into mines.
So Evil Panda Squad versus WoT. This will be an interesting one because Evil Panda Squad have won 2. WoT have won 1. Obviously, we just saw WoT beat them on Himmelsdorf. Evil Panda Squad have been the stronger team on these kind of maps, the more open maps, the more dynamic maps. But so far, my prediction is for Evil Panda Squad to win as they push quite heavily up towards the middle area.
Yeah, and QQ could be in trouble if that's the case, because he is literally sped through that. Oh, great connection though onto Zenith already from one of his teammates actually there. QQ looking like he's more the bait than anything, but he is running his legs off, or his tracks off to say the least. As well, the Evil Panda Squad do claim that midsection right now. Yeah,
great shot by 1337 Hacksaw, using the T-32's 320 average damage gun to his advantage, connecting the shell beautifully. But Evil Panda Squad got away with it quite lightly. I mean, they've got 3 tanks on the hill, all tier 8. New multi-shows in the background, along with Pointer in their T-69s. Evil Panda Squad definitely have the upper ground, the higher ground advantage. But if they can use it properly, which we don't often see, we saw a lot of teams misusing the higher ground, but WoT have done it. They've got no particular disadvantage. It's just about Evil Panda Squad playing it out and you know, really making the strategy work for them.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see who's going to break this one, because it does seem to be that kind of tentative map a fair bit of times, and it's depending on who makes a mistake or, you know, who makes the most of a situation. And well, obviously WoT did pick up that last map, but still they do have a lot of work to do here.
Indeed. Sony pushing forwards a little bit, but we can just head over to WoT. They've turtled down quite heavily towards the left side, also under the hill, which won't give Evil Panda Squad the normal move which we see, which is just dropping off the hill, focusing down one or 2 tanks and pushing through the middle right here, which is a nice little prediction move from WoT, and it will be a lot harder for Evil Panda Squad to perform something like that, just because of the T-32's armor, T-32's hit point pool, 1,550 being that. PlanetSide just getting connected, a couple of shells. New multi-show doing the damage, and a third one. PlanetSide's in a bit of trouble actually in that T-69. Big mistake from WoT.
Yeah, indeed. These guys pushed forward a touch. They showed their hand, and well, it's just been ripped away from them from the Evil Panda Squad at the moment. New multi-show once again being just dealing so much damage. It's been unbelievable right now. Yeah,
great play from him. Ace connecting, getting connected by another shell. QQ is on a bit of a low point right now, dropping off the hill. Potomac is going to try and chase him, but he's got to be careful. Seek is in the background, trying to connect the shells as well, but it's an AMX 1390, so not the most accurate thing, regardless of the accuracy changes. Potomaco pushing forwards. He's not sure what he wants to do. Maybe he wants to get off the hill a little bit. 1337 Hacksaw is going to try and use his gun depression to connect a shell, but you know, I think Evil Panda Squad have the advantage because they did do so much damage to PlanetSide in the T-69.
Yeah, and well, WoT look a little bit confused for an answer right now, and Potato Mako peering up once again in that AMX 1390, and that T-32 obviously Hacksaw has pushed up a bit here, so I want to see what he can bring to this, see if he's willing to take any shots. Again, he was doing fairly well earlier. I think he got a couple of shots off onto the opposition, but that's about it right now, and they look a little bit lost for an answer.
Yeah, I think 1337 Hacksaw, Elite Hacksaw, is trying to pretty much paint a bullseye on him. He knows he's got the army, he knows he's got the HP pool to do pretty much whatever he wants in this map against these smaller tanks. And he's just saying, come on, Evil Panda Squad, just come at me, see if you can do the damage. And then once they've started using the autoloaders, then you will see more WoT's damage dealers pushing in against the loading tanks of Evil Panda Squad. But Evil Panda Squad changing up a bit, actually, sending both their T-69s to the island, leaving the AMX 1390s on the hill. We could see a push here.
Yeah, Potato Mako keeping the attention of WoT right now, just dancing through. You can see Fan there and QQ. The Hacksaw keeping eyes on it. That may be the distraction that they truly need right now to actually allow the Evil Panda Squad to push down.
Yeah, Ace connecting some shells, actually. New multi-show that is in his T-69, scarring down to 905. But it's not particularly big deal. It's still got plenty of HP to ward off attack by the 1390s, and that's pretty much the mission of these two T-69s, to whittle down the tanks of WoT to a point where the 1390s of EPS can push and finish them off. See, coming in actually in his AMX 1390, he can sense the danger. He is the team leader of WoT. He wants to be making sure that there's no cheesy movements from the hill from Evil Panda Squad. But now Ace has got taken down a little bit, 628 on his MX-1300. I'm not sure if he got connected by a T69 or by that T32.
Yeah, and as you said, she does look a little bit kind of worried about what's going on. He's actually pushed up exactly where that T32 is right now. JS is only over that defilade, going to let a shot off. Doesn't get a connection though. Potato Mako is being moved on right now.
Yeah, there's a push from WoT DE. Good in push, actually. And now this is where the T32 will come into his own. Evil Panda Squad, Ace even not connecting Shell. He's down to 31. He's got to run away now. He doesn't. He gets taken down. Great play by Scarring. And now WoT DE have the advantage.
Yeah, the upper hand has been ripped away at the moment, and now Seish is still on the push, trying to hunt down Potato Mako, and he's still going. He's not going to back off this one. He's lost eyes of him. Oh, and he's damaged his track right in the hill. This is not a great place to be stuck. He's going to have to get moving again and try and keep the hunt on.
Yeah, Proto Mako down a lot, and that's the T32's advantage. Nothing from Zenith. Zenith's be in big trouble. He's going to go down. One more shot will do it. 256. He's actually okay. He's being disengaged by Seek, but Scarring's on the hill doing the damage now.
Yeah, Seek again, the hell out of there at the moment. He's literally just run through so many of the opposition, somehow still alive. And Scarring, as you said, was connected to the shells, but does go down. Potato Mako does as well find a good couple of members. This is not going too well for WoT DE.
No, suddenly the tides have turned, definitely. Pointer doing the damage. But where is New Multi-Show? He's just gone off into the distance on his own, not there to support his team, which is definitely not a good thing, regardless of what his idea is. But Pointer bouncing a shell from behind, and I think that will give him the time he needs to get out of there in his T69. But New Multi-Show is on full health, and he definitely has the reload. So it's just going to be about him just playing with his team and just, you know, giving them the support they need.
Yeah, and Seish and Potato Mako are literally dancing around this rock for the last 5 minutes. Somehow, Poto has managed to stay alive on 38 health points up against Seish, darting around after him, and here comes another push. He misses again! This is unbelievable. Finally, Seish does get the shot off, well, the shell off, should I say. But the situation just doesn't feel like it's in favor to the WoT DE side right now.
No, definitely not. New Multi show their best player on plenty of hit points. Pointer's not doing too badly. Well, you know, a couple of shots will do it, but that'll be enough. QQ taking down Sony, but New Multi show is going to push on to C. C's down to 218, so only a shot will do it. New Multi show having no problems at all, even rocking back and forth with style, as Arsho in that T1 wants to reset the cap of Eclipse, but he gets spotted out, and New Multi Show will have no problems dispatching him as well.
Yeah, this has been the New Multi Show today. This has been unbelievable play coming out from this man right now, and QQ might be feeling the brunt of that rather soon. Ayo is in trouble, already down on only 68 HP, and will get taken out eventually. Did manage to find one, but now only leaving QQ alive against two, and one of those is New Multi Show's already picked up 3 kills now.
He's been playing very, very well indeed. These past 4 match games, and this match day 5 against WoT DE, but now it's going to be a hard one for both teams to win. I mean, it's because, you know, QQ has enough health just to be able to reset the cap. So if Evil Panda Squad push into the cap, they'll have about a minute left to do it. Then QQ can come in at about 5 seconds to the end of the game, connect one shell, stop the cap. Boom, we have a win for Evil Panda Squad if QQ doesn't get the kill on Pointer, because obviously Evil Panda Squad has 16 points to WoT DE's 8 points. Those 2 tier 8s, 2 T69s, 8 points each, while QQ's only 8 points with that AMX-1390. So advantage for Evil Panda Squad right now.
Yeah, and I think QQ kind of knows that. He's tried to maze around. He's flanked all the way around the back. Switch things up. He's going to be trying to make his way in. We're going to have to see if he's going to go straight for the challenge. He has spotted that T69. His New Multi Show. He doesn't connect the shell. The shots are now coming in towards him. He's going to have to be careful.
Yeah, but he's got a Pointer in the background. 2 shells connecting, 92 left. QQ is definitely going to be QQing right now.
Yeah, it's just another way you wanted this to go down. As you said, 92 health points. It's almost over unless a miracle happens right now, which I highly doubt. It's pretty much GG for him. Manages to avoid that shell from New Multi Show. Going back round. Going to try and challenge again. Using that defilade of the hill, not to present too much. But it's going to happen one way or another. And there we have it. GG's as said.
Yeah, GG, 3-1 to Evil Panda Squad. Quite a stomp apart from Himmelsdorf, which we did predict. Some great play by Evil Panda Squad, some great play by New Multi-Show. Once again, doing plus 2.5k damage, 2.7k and 3 kills indeed. Carrying his team, kicking and screaming over the finish line. Great game by Evil Panda Squad.
Yeah, and New Multi-Show has a new follower in me. I'm not going to kid you guys.
Fangirl.
I didn't want to say those words. Why does he... I'm nice,
I knew
right?
you didn't want to say it, so I said it.
I don't like casting with him.
At Gamescom.
Oh, God. Yeah, no, but, guys, obviously that was a fantastic way to kick things off here in days 5 and 6. Obviously, there's another game coming up in just a moment, and that will be Kazna Crew up against Spale. So the fan favourites going head-to-head. What's your opinion, very quickly? Well,
it's 3-1 both times they played against each other, so... I mean, I think it's going to go to Spell just because how well they played against them in DreamHack, but we'll talk about that a little later.
Very true. But guys at home, let us know your thoughts. Go hashtag WoT Pro League. Tweet to us. Tweet at me, at They Call Me Pansy, or your Twitter, which is...
Laughter WOT.
And let us know your thoughts towards this game. They're your favourites. Let us know. We'll be back in 5 with another brilliant game.
The dawn